Question 3. Sur les promoteurs des droits sexuels, l'on retrouve au sein de ces textes imposés au pays par l'OMS, donc l'ONU, des organismes tels que l'Institut Kinsey, Sensoa, CIECUS et l'IPPF, le Planning familial international. Pouvez-vous nous dire quels sont ces organismes et quelle est leur raison d'être et les liens entre eux et comment vient-on à banaliser une pareille origine qui apparaît à ciel ouvert? Le viol des enfants est-il accepté par la société dans le fond ou bien les origines de Kinsey des droits sexuels sont-elles niées, cachées pour les intérêts d'un petit groupe bien au courant et quel est ce groupe?
Well, earlier you spoke about SICUS, Sex Information and Education Council of the United States, yeah? And SICUS was formed at the Kinsey Institute with, there's a statement made by its director of the time, Mary Calderon, saying that sex education was carved out as the one big section that SICUS would be in charge of for the nation, and actually it's for the world. Yeah. Now SICUS, Mary Calderon had been medical director for Planned Parenthood, International Planned Parenthood. And then they decided to create this new group, SICUS, which meant that she moved from International Planned Parenthood to or maybe it wasn't international, it might have been Planned Parenthood, but it's the same, to start the new group, SICUS, which then would be in charge of training all of the teachers in schools about sex as according to Kinsey. Now, when you have to understand, when you're training all the teachers in school, and this would be in 1964, I think it was, when you're teaching all of the teachers in school, that means grooming them, grooming children and teachers for the next generation and the generation after that. They will be your doctors, your lawyers, your prosecuting attorneys, your teachers, your professors in the school. They will be your judges in the courtroom. Those people will be groomed generation to generation so that each group will train the next generation. No, the American people did not know, they still don't know that children are supposed to be happily raped, yeah? But the group that is in charge of this has created they have a special training. Kinsey Institute has a special slot where they are consultants to the United Nations, and they now have their imprimatur, so they can go throughout the world and educate those poor people who don't understand yet. I'm being facetious, I'm being sarcastic, about children being sexual from birth. Remember, Kinsey defined an orgasm for these little children, for a 2-month-old, yeah, as an orgasm was, according to him, when the child screamed, when the child fainted, when the child had convulsions, when the baby collapsed, and it's all in his books, page 160, 161, and of the explanation of orgasm that these babies were having. Yeah, you should have up on your screen the tables, yeah, from his books. Now, these are the most quoted, the most celebrated books worldwide, print in all languages. Kinsey's books, all languages. How can you say that people who open those books and see a 2-month-old, a 5-month-old, a 4-year-old having having 26 orgasms in 24 hours, what he called orgasm. That's around the clock. That's around the clock experiments. Yeah? He was a sadomasochist. That's clear when you read the description of children fighting to get away from the partner, what he called the partner. Yeah. Now, all this is being transferred worldwide, globally, as it was transferred to the American public.
On peut être très très inquiet donc quand on voit à la base des standards pour l'éducation sexuelle en Europe qui sont donc repris en France, SIECUS par exemple, et quand on voit que Kinsey peut être enseigné en France à la base de l'éducation sexuelle des enfants et cité en bibliographie des standards pour l'éducation sexuelle en Europe.
Absolutely, it will destroy, completely destroy the civilization. Completely. These children will be destroyed. They are being destroyed. Yeah. And the control of the nations will be with those who take delight in doing the most dastardly things to human beings. That is true.
Right.
Et on peut être donc très 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 inquiet de voir que le planning familial, sous couvert de défendre les droits des femmes, soutient une telle idéologie de droits sexuels des enfants, qui sont dans leur texte.
Yeah, I mean, I've written extensively on Planned Parenthood, and I have analyzed their hot and happy. Oh, yeah, they have this International Planned Parenthood promoted if the child has HIV, has AIDS, if a child has AIDS, yeah, okay. They have a big a little pamphlet, big pamphlet with lots of happy kids floating around in this pamphlet. The child has AIDS. This is for a pamphlet telling people, if you have AIDS, it's okay. You can have sex with anybody. You don't need to tell them unless you want to about the fact that you have AIDS. They in this pamphlet, hot and happy or whatever it was, they go on and they carry on about the pleasure that the child can have having sex and so on and so on. Not one time in this pamphlet, not once, does the International Planned Parenthood pamphlet say, go to the police, go right away and tell what happened to you, that you had sex with this guy. It's going to be an adult who gave the child AIDS for the most part. Go and get help. Go tell your police force, take this, get that person prosecuted. Not a word. No, not a word. So they want the children to engage in sex. They know the children will die. They know the children will have diseases that will wipe them out. They know it. And they want to protect the predators. They want to protect the people who are raping them because that's them.
Oui, je trouve que dans ces textes du planning familial, alors en France, le planning familial est très aimé, c'est très embêtant parce que dedans, on a des personnes très investies pour les droits humains, mais il y a une négation de l'enfant, c'est-à-dire qu'on apprend à l'enfant à dire non, comme si l'enfant était en capacité de dire non à un agresseur sexuel, par exemple. C'est délirant. Qu'en pensez-vous?
Well, yeah, that's their plan. Look, I got involved in sex education when I was doing my PhD at the university, and my daughters were in 6th grade, I think, and they brought home a pamphlet from Planned Parenthood, yeah? And the pamphlet had drawings that were indicative of the gist of it. Naked women with huge Playboy breasts, and little guy with no organ, just a little drawing of an organ. And the pamphlet said, amongst other things, have sex just with your friends, plural. This is, let me make this clear, 1974, I think 1974 and 1972. I have to go back and look. Yeah, so have sex, it was called, that you've changed the combination, and have sex just with your friends. And among other things, they say, if she's too young to ask or to know for a one-nighter, ask, if she's had too much to drink, ask. And, if she says yes, it's fine. Now, mind you, this is for kids. So how young is the girl? Yeah, or the boy? I don't know. Well, they said she's. And then at the end of the pamphlet, it gets better. It says, there are girls who have chosen prostitution, or, there are girls who have freely chosen to go into that business, as if that was true. That's a bloody lie. But anyway, you don't choose to go into prostitution. And then they said, now, if you want a virgin to marry, there are girls who have, and I'm quoting, there are girls who have freely chosen that business too. Marriage is the price you'll pay, and you'll get the virgin very temporarily. End quote. Planned Parenthood. Education for your children in 1970s. Yeah. You go and read my books, because I have the exact layout and how it went chronologically. In 1968, it started in various places, but in our country, really, most importantly, it started, Planned Parenthood and their groups began in 1958, yeah, with pilot classes, pilot study in the Black community, right? And they were showing little kids, the youngest children, barnyard copulation and films. And the parents, the Black parents of the children, complained, protested. They had signs, everything. They were not paid attention to. So after managing in 1958 to control the Black community this way, the children, then they moved out into the rest of society. Planned Parenthood. And I always say, please do sue me.